Hello folks, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. When life gives you zucchini, you make zucchini bread. Let's go. So folks, this is my first cooking video of the year, and I really like this zucchini bread recipe. Now, this is a low sugar recipe. It only has half the sugar that would normally be used in zucchini bread, and it also has extra spices, and it almost tastes like a dessert cake, but it's actually really good and healthy for you. So stand back and I'm going to show you everything I put in it, and then as I put them in, I will show you how I put them in and mix them. So let's get to baking. Now we're going to use the Vitamix today, and with the Vitamix you have to be careful because you don't want to puree your zucchini. You want to chop it, but you don't want to puree it. So I will show these steps as they come due. So folks, at the end of this video, I'm going to put the entire ingredient list down. And just remember, when you mix the ingredients, that you want to mix the wet with the wet and the dry with the dry. And then you want to put the wet into the dry. And if you'll do that, you'll make zucchini bread that tastes just like mine. So let's go right on down the line. We're going to get a teaspoon of salt. We're going to get a teaspoon of ground nutmeg. We're going to get a tablespoon of ground cinnamon. We're going to get a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and we're going to get half a teaspoon of ginger. We're also going to use lemon zest, which is grated lemon peel. We're going to use, of course, 2 cups of zucchini. We're going to use 4 eggs, 3/4 cup of olive oil, 1.5 cups of self-rising flour. We're going to use only 3/4 cup of sugar, and we're going to use 1 cup of chopped walnuts. And so that's what we're going to do, and let's get to doing it. So I've got 2 bowls here. This is going to be the liquid bowl, and this is going to be the powder bowl. Once we get the liquid made, we're going to put the liquid into the powder, and that's the way you do this. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to take the 4 eggs and we're going to put them in the Vitamix. And for the sake of time, I'm not going to show every bit of all this. And here's the 4th egg. Now we're going to go ahead and put in the lemon zest. We'll put it in with the eggs. So let's go ahead and get a tablespoon of zest. Okay, that's the lemon peel. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get 3/4 of a cup of olive oil. So we're going to go ahead and take the sugar here, and we're going to go ahead and put it in the dry container, so we'll have something to measure the olive oil with. And we're going to put 3/4 of a cup of olive oil into the Vitamix. Okay, and we're also going to oil these pans while we've got the olive oil out We're going to put a little in each pan, and we're going to rub it around. And that way then, we can have these already greased. You want to grease it on the bottom and on the side pretty good, even though there's going to be oil in the mixture. And there we go, we got them greased. And let's not forget the oven. We want to turn the oven, we want to bake it at 350. And so we've got that started for 350 degrees. Okay, now we've got the Vitamix loaded. Let's go ahead and put the olive oil in. Okay, that's very good. Get it all in there. All right. Then the next thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and mix these. We want to whip them eggs up good. So we're going to put this on about number 4, and we're going to hold it down for a second. Okay, so we beat those eggs and oil together along with the lemon zest. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the zucchini, and we need 2 cups of zucchini. So to make sure I've got something to measure that with, I'm going to put my 1/2 cup of walnuts in the dry container. I'm going to go ahead and put my flour into the dry container. And we'll mix all that in a little bit. And then the next thing we're going to do, we're going to save these to measure the spices with, is we're going to chop this zucchini, because we need 2 cups of zucchini for the Vitamix and for the recipe. So it is important that we go ahead and cut this into small pieces before we throw it in the Vitamix. And the reason is we're only going to run that for just a few seconds to chop it into small pieces. We want to chop it, not puree it. So let's throw it in here. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good 2 cups. Now there's a lot of air in here, and so since there is so much air in here, I'm going to go ahead and use that entire zucchini for the recipe. And throw this in. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to put it on a low spin, and we're going to turn it on for just a few seconds. And that's it. One more second. There you go. You want to be able to see the specks in there. Okay, so we're going to take that out now, and we're going to pour it. Actually, we won't need this bowl. We'll pour it directly into the dry bowl. So now we've got to go ahead and finish the dry bowl. It's almost finished. So what we want to do is just put the spices that we're adding in. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is 1 teaspoon. So we're going to put in a teaspoon of nutmeg. And we're going to make it a scant teaspoon of nutmeg. Nutmeg is powerful. So there you go. We don't want too much nutmeg. We're going to go ahead and throw that into the powder, the dry mixture. All right. And we want a tablespoon of cinnamon. We're using this organic cinnamon. And a tablespoon is going to be 3 teaspoons. So that's probably 1.5. And let's get another 1.5. There we go. So that's a tablespoon. There we go. Okay. Now we want a teaspoon of vanilla, and we're going to throw it into the liquid one since it's already liquid. So here goes a teaspoon of vanilla. There we go. Right on into the Vitamix. And then the last thing we're going to do is a 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. And here's a 1/2 teaspoon measure. So here's the ginger. Don't want too much of that either. 1/2 teaspoon. Okay. And lastly, we want a teaspoon of salt. So once again, I'm going to pour this into the 1/2 teaspoon since the other one is wet. Is we're going to just mix up all this dry. Remember, we've got the flour, the sugar, the walnuts, and all the spices in here. And we're just going to mix it up and kind of mound it around, make a little bowl of flour there for the liquid. Okay, then we're going to just go ahead and quickly pour in the liquid part, and then we're going to mix it all up really quickly. So let's go ahead and do that. And there we go. There's that zucchini looking nice with the eggs, with the oil, with the lemon zest. Oh, you can smell it now. It is really smelling good. This particular recipe tastes like nothing you've ever tasted before. If you've had zucchini bread, you've never probably had it like this. Okay, so we're going to put that back, and now we're just going to mix it until the liquid goes into the powder. And once you think you've got it completely mixed, we're going to pour it into the pans. We don't want to overmix it, but we do want to get all the dry touching some wet. Okay, I think we're there. All right, and then see if I can get some room here. Now we're just literally going to pour it into the cake pans or the loaf pans. We want to fill it up about 3/4. It will rise. Okay, that should be totally sufficient there. Now let's get the next one. use the back of this knife for a very nice spatula here. Now we got a teaspoon of salt. And that is everything that we need for our zucchini bread. So now we're just going to pop these into the oven and let them bake for an hour. So let's go ahead and get these popped in. Okay, and we'll be back in about 45 minutes just to check on them. Meanwhile, I've got to clean up this mess I made before my wife comes home and finds it. Okay, folks, so it's been 50 minutes. I'm going to take a look. Oh, yeah, we're looking nice here. Sorry about the blinding light in our eyes, but yeah. They're looking nice, but they do need that extra 10 minutes. Okay, folks, so here it is, the lemon zest cinnamon zucchini bread. It's time to give it a try. Notice that's coming out dry. Better than carrot cake. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you want me to do more cooking videos of all this produce that I'm getting in the garden, just let me know in the comments. And thank you for watching.